Hey, I'm Jeff from Alloy Motors in Oakland, California, and I'm down here with my car, Darth Vader, at Gibson Exhaust. I grew up in Detroit, and I actually grew up in my dad's body shop. Kind of swore I'd never work on cars for a living, and here I am now today. I quit a career in advertising to pursue my dream and passion, and I love every minute of it. So the Dart here, it's a '67 Dodge Dart. We affectionately call it Darth Vader. Kind of starting with the basics, it has a Chrysler small block 360, all the Edelbrock goodies on it, high compression motor. It has Hotchkiss suspension, so not only does it go fast, but it turns really well. We've got Wilwood brakes on it, so it stops like nobody's business. The uniqueness of the car really comes from restraint. A lot of builders out there like to use a lot of flashy parts and big, shiny wheels on it, and really the look of the car kind of started with the wheels, 15-inch Steelies. They really kind of set the tone, and I just carried that throughout with black on black and keeping everything really super clean and specific details that are hand fabricated in the shop that really set it apart that no one else has. The interior is kind of a blend of custom stuff and factory reproduction like seat covers and seats, but the dashboard is all custom made. The center console is a stock piece, but it's been modified to match the dashboard. And then we made these really cool bitchin' aluminum floor mats to just kind of follow that theme through. It started with these nostrils on the hood that are fabricated out of aluminum. Interesting thing, this is actually a '68 hood, and in '68 these hoods were non-functional as far as venting goes, and instead of just putting a big cast piece of trim that looks like it should work, I cut holes in it to make it actually work. Ron Francis Wiring was kind enough to grace me with a bunch of their products to put in the car so that we could just display it at SEMA. The editor of Mopar Muscle magazine happened across it as I was pulling it into the show and decided to make it a feature car. So right after the show, I took it down and they did a full photo shoot, cover, 5-page feature, pretty cool for me. So in 2015, I was on the Hot Rod Magazine Power Tour, and I met up with the guys from Gibson. I was building this car, and I said, they had these new mufflers out, mufflers with attitude. I thought they'd have the perfect sound for the car. When you see the car, you see what it looks like, and when you fire the car up with those mufflers on it, it all kind of falls together, it all fits. It's got a really throaty tone, especially when you first start it. But once you drive it, at low speeds, you can definitely hear the exhaust, you hear the tone. But once you're out like on the highway and you're at high speeds, it's really not as loud as you'd think. It all kind of goes to the back of the car. It doesn't drone inside the car, which is awesome. One of the things in hot rodding is, and custom car culture is, the old cars, there's just not a ton of them left. So a lot of the young kids, they're finding really oddball cars to do stuff to. And that's kind of where this started. Like, nobody does a Dart like this, but because there's so many of them out there and they're cheap, why not? And there's awesome aftermarket support for it from people like Gibson and Hotchkiss and all these other guys are making really cool parts for these cars that 10 years ago no one would have thought of doing anything to. I'd just like to thank my team of guys that work for me. We all work pretty hard on this build, and all my sponsors. If you have any questions about the car, Jeff at Alloy Motors, look us up online, alloymotors.com, and we'll see you soon.